But yeah, no, talk to me now about Urgent Flex.
All right, so I'll give a spiel. Urgent
Okay.
Flex, we're an investment group, and
Mhm.
we're making acquisitions within the healthcare space. The first portfolio we decided to work on is in the hyperbaric oxygen therapy space.
Mhm.
We like it. We like the space for a number of reasons. One, it's fragmented, meaning there's a lot of small business owners like mom and pops who went into this space. They have their own practice and they're doing well. And then there's a lot of retirement age owners as well within that fragmentation. The second thing is margins as well. Margins are great. Just like as a criteria for us is whenever we're looking at a business or like an industry in and of itself, we
Yeah.
need margins of at least 20 to 30% minimum. If it doesn't have that, it's too risky.
And when you say margins, how did you come up with that number? Why not 10%? Why not 30%?
Because just like when you're starting out, you need to have breathing room for mistakes.
Mhm.
And we made mistakes, but when you choose the right industry, it's able to it's able to absorb those mistakes. If you have flesh wounds and then you have mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So when you have good margins in your business, you're able to take more flesh wounds, and they're not mortal wounds.
That makes sense. So then you mentioned so I'm assuming how did you know there was, and I know this is very straightforward, but it could be different. But how did you know to go into that space specifically?
So
Did you
so
have
really,
another up or whatever?
so I wouldn't call it a backup. I think what happened was when we started our fellowship within the whole M&A educational pathway, what
Yeah.
we started seeing was it was for sure gonna be healthcare where we were gonna plant our flag. Being in
Mhm.
Florida, the network that we had, okay, that part was easy. It's
Got
not
it.
until you kind of open up those doors that are healthcare in Florida, and you see that there's so many different niches and so many generalized areas. So
Yeah.
just to kind of go off the top of the list here, I mean, we looked at home health services, we looked at NEMT, non-emergency medical transport. We
Mhm.
looked at assistant living,
Hospice.
hospice care, and Lionel kind of spearheading on anything that's kind of business development or just kind of initial acquisitions. He can kind of talk about some of those conversations that he had with brokers or just with the open market in general.
Yeah. So what I was finding was like we kind of got stuck in a loop where we plant our flags on an industry and
Yeah,
we commit, which is commitment can also be a bias as well too,
that's
which
true.
is the commitment bias is actually crazy. Just because you make the decision and then you invest time into it, you're more you mentally want to hold on to the
Mhm.
commitment just because of the
Yeah.
time invested. And we kind of got stuck in that loop at least like three times,
Yeah.
where we looked at the industry and we did the whole investment thesis. This is what we're doing. We hired we onboarded board
Board members
board
or
members specific to that
to that
industry.
industry, yeah.
And then when it's finally time to look at a deal, I look at two, three, four deals, and the margins are terrible. There's a lot of competition. There's no
Mhm.
moats, and now we built all this stuff, and it's just.
Yeah.
And we've had to dial back, like we're not doing this
Scrap it down.
anymore. And we got stuck into that a couple of times. So we changed our approach.
Mhm.
We adapted our approach to not commit to any niches, but commit to healthcare.
Mm.
From that, I just looked, for at least for a month or two, I just looked at what popped up and I just reach out to,
Just
just
reach.
random healthcare deals, and first thing I was looking for was just a business with good numbers, because if you buy a business with good numbers and the industry isn't what you really want, you can always change and you'll have a good business. So I was just looking for something for us with great numbers that could be supported by some debt, some bank debt. The banks would like it.